Hey artists, it's Mrs. Birnbaum coming at you from my living room. And today we're gonna do something tricky. We're gonna be drawing a place that we've been spending a lot of time lately. We're gonna be drawing our houses. It is going to be very challenging. I want you to actually really take a close look at your house and see what it looks like. What shape are the windows? What shape are the doors? What kind of textures do you see? What kind of home do you live in? All homes are different. I created my home in my sketchbook. If you have a sketchbook, you are welcome to create your home in your sketchbook. It doesn't have to be on any kind of special paper. I want you to really have fun with this, really study what your house looks like. I'm gonna show you guys some tips and tricks. Let's get started. Before you begin drawing, I suggest taking a look at the How to Draw a House sheet that I've included for you in my Google Classroom. I kind of created a step-by-step list of a suggested way to work. This is the way that works for me. It might work for you too. But my suggestion always first is to start with the shapes of your house. You're gonna have to make an observation. What shapes make up your house? Do you have rectangles, squares, triangles? Take a look at your house. You can go outside and draw if the weather works out. You can look at a picture if you have a picture available. You can use your memory. Do what works for you. So we're gonna start with shapes first. When I created my house in my sketchbook, I started by drawing the shapes that I saw first. Because I've already drawn my house, I'm gonna kind of mix things up a little bit. I'm gonna draw a different house. I have a picture of my mom and dad's house in front of me, and they live in a kind of house called a split level, where it's not symmetrical, it's not equal on both sides. Your house might be symmetrical, it might not be symmetrical. Every house is different, but I'm gonna start off with the shapes that I see. So as you can see, I created a really rough sketch of the shapes that I noticed in their house. It looks kind of weird right now because I have no details. It's really just the shape of the building and the shape of the roofs. It doesn't have to be perfect to get started. Really, just do your best. And if you notice, I drew with a feather line. A feather line is when you use your pencil kind of like it's a paintbrush. You're kind of just working in shorter strokes. You're not doing dark, completed lines. It kind of gives you a little bit more control. And we've definitely talked about that a little bit in art class before. Now, after you're done kind of creating the rough sketch, you're ready to kind of tackle my second suggestion here, which is adding some of the details. I suggest adding the windows and the doors next. Check out what shapes you see. All houses have different shaped windows. Some houses have one door, two doors. Some windows are big, some windows are small. Count to see how many of them you have and do your best. Okay, I've added windows, I've added doors, I've added a garage door. Is it perfect? No, but I'm having a great time. I'm really struggling with these steps over here, but that's okay. It's part of the fun. I'll tackle that later. Now that I have the windows and the doors, I am going to start adding my details. Look at your house. What kind of details does your house have? Do you have a chimney? Do you have any trim around your windows? Do you have window sills? Do you have bushes? Do you have trees? What kind of things do you have on your house? Do you have stone? Do you have siding? When you're done adding your details, the last thing that you can do is you can outline your house. I outlined the house that I live in, and it really helped me. I used a thin Sharpie. If you have a thin Sharpie, great. If you don't have one, that's okay too. You can use something else. You can use a pen. But I really enjoyed outlining mine because it kind of helped me edit as I went. There were parts that I didn't love when I drew it in pencil. I think garages are really difficult. I think angles are really difficult. I'm really struggling with my parents' steps and their railing over here. But with a Sharpie, I'll kind of be able to play around with it and it'll make my work look a little bit more professional. After you're done outlining, a great idea would be to use an eraser and kind of erase any pencil lines that you don't want anymore. Sometimes pencil lines can be beneficial, like if you feel like you want to do a little bit of shading to make something look set back, like maybe I want this window to look a little bit set back. Feel free to add some pencil shading to your house. Maybe there's a shadow. Maybe there's a shadow from the overhang of a roof and you'd like to add some pencil shading to show that. Pencil really comes in handy, so if you want to do that on your house, you're welcome to. If you want to kind of neaten up your house, like I have all these scribbly looking bushes here, feel free to use an eraser to kind of mask that. Do what you think would look best for your house. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. There's a lot of parts of this that, yeah, I'm not loving it, but that's okay. I had a great time. I really hope that you guys have a great time too.